folks, Jonathan here. Time to do a little testing again. Got the dump valve hooked up, got both the back ones on. Like I said, they're normally closed, and they're closed now. There's pressure on the system, the airbags are up, all the leaks are fixed, the compressor's built up, the key's on so it can come on if it drops below. I've got this temporary, I've got one wire coming from each of the dump valves, the solenoids on the dump valves. And what we're going to do is run them in this box and run relays on them. But I just have it temporarily set up, got it grounded on the box, got the power wire running from the dump switch, put a new fitting on to solve that leak, and I think everything's good to go. So I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to set you up. I'm actually going to put, I think I'm going to put the bed down first so I can actually see how much difference it is between the tire and the bed. So give me just a minute here and I'll get set up, and then we're going to dump it and let it go down, and then we'll flip it back and just see how long it takes to come back up. Okay, got you set up here. You can see the distance between the tire and the bed here, which is a lot. I'm probably going to readjust the leveling valves and bring that down some. It don't have to be running that high. But let me dump it real quick because the battery's getting kind of low on the camera. I'm going to go ahead and dump it, and then we'll see how long it takes. Well, that's it. It didn't take long. Still losing some air, but it's actually all the way down. Now I'm wondering if my other valve closed. Because it should have stopped. Almost acts like it's losing out of the tank. I'm not sure what was going on there. I'm going to let it go back up. Kind of confused here. We're going to try it again and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to let this compressor build up, but I think what I'm going to do next time, instead of turning the switch on and off, I just got the ground unhooked, and we'll hook it back up. That'll operate this valve to close, and the other one's to open. And then I'll pull this line off and make sure there's nothing coming through this valve out of the tank. I'm not sure what that extra air was. It seemed like it was taking a little longer or something was going on. But the bags went back up pretty quick, so I'm not sure. We'll check it again here. I'll turn you back on when the compressor gets kicked off. Okay, compressor's kicked off, it's back up, air pressure's back up. So what I'm going to do is hook the ground up. That'll close this valve, open them valves. I'm going to wait again until it gets them down and it starts leaking like it was leaking a few minutes ago, and we'll pull that line off and see if it's still bypassing that valve, or if it's just air out of the bags that is still coming out. Okay, they're dropped. The valve's not closing for some reason. It did now, but it didn't before. I don't understand that. Okay, we're going to try it a different way. I want to see if the air flowing through it is keeping it from closing. So what we'll do is I'll hook it up first and see if it closes, and then I'll dump the valve and see if that solves the problem. I'm just wondering if that air rushing through it, not letting it close, or something's going on. closing, but for some reason it's not. We'll figure it out. Worst comes to worst, we may have to put it on 2 switches. You know, run this one, flip it first, and flip the other one. It'll be kind of an aggravation, but we'll see. All right, turn you back on. Okay, folks, compressor's off. Heat is on, so the compressor can kick on if it needs to. We're going to take the ground off of the normally open valve here. Excuse me. We're going to touch it first. I hear it closing, so we'll close it and then we'll dump the valves and we'll see if that solves the problem. So it's closed and I'm going to dump the valves. And that done it. It's not leaking at all. When I unhook, it should come up quicker. It's coming up, and now the compressor will probably kick back on. Okay. Okay, that works right there, but I don't know why that valve's not closing. Double check the direction, it's hooked up right. We'll do some more checking on it and then decide whether we're going to run 2 switches or keep trying to figure it out. I'd rather figure it out, but anyway, it's working. It's dumping quick, and it's, you know, it's up all the way right now, so it raised pretty quick. And I'm not worried about it raising completely up before I drive off. I'm more worried about it getting off the bumps. You don't want to ride one, you know, with any weight at all on it with it on the bump stop. As long as it gets off them bump stops, you know, it can finish raising as I go. But anyway, we'll keep at it here and see what we can figure out. Well, the compressor didn't run long at all that time, so that's good news. I don't know a lot about electronics. I'm just wondering if there's a way of putting a delay in into my 2 rear dumps. Don't know if they make something electronic for that or not. I think I'm going to try it one more time with all 3 wires and just see what happens. Now another thing too, you know, you see how fast it's dumping, and of course once it's got a load, it's going to dump fast too. I mean, I don't think it'll dump much faster, but it's pretty easy to slow that down. You can put, you know, any kind of valve on that dump valve, after the dump valve, and then maybe before the muffler that we're going to put on it, you know, to keep the trash out. But and you can adjust that and just slow the air coming out. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's really easy to slow it down. It's hard to speed them up, you know, if you don't have big enough ports. It's easy to slow them down. So, you know, if it seems like it's going to be a problem of dumping too fast, you know, no problem whatsoever to take care of that. But I'm going to set it up one more time here and just see if it works this time. I don't know why I'm trying, because I don't think it's going to, but we'll try it anyway. But I've got them all 3 wired together. Yeah, it's still leaking down. Okay, folks, while this thing's filling up again, I'm going to try something. I noticed that the airbags are just as hard as a rock on this thing, and it's still pumping. But I'm almost wondering if these things are completely out of adjustment. You can see where it's shiny here. I'm wondering if it's not trying to raise it too high. And I've got some problems. Well, there's a problem with that one. I'm going to have to do some work on it. Try to order these rubbers. And I should be able to get into the parts for that. But I'm just wondering if I don't have an issue with too much pressure in the system. I'm going to loosen this one up. If I move it down, it should... Let me try to move it down and I'll turn you back on. Okay, I moved it down. It's bringing it down. I want to see how far it's come, because the actual ride height is really higher than it needs to be. And that brought it down and it's stopping now. So we're going to tighten that one up. This one's tightened up and stopped. Now the way this works is the more weight you put on it, the farther this lever moves and the more it adds air in the bag. So basically it just stays level all the time. So this one's down. I'm going to go check the other one and see what it looks like. And it's the same way. See the shiny right here? I don't remember moving them up, but I might have. So let me take it down just a little bit, see what it does. Okay, and this is a link system. I know JC had said something about that. And you can buy just about any part for it. But that one's down. We're going to go try it again. I doubt it's going to change it, but I just wanted to see. The ride height's still pretty high, but it's better to me than it was because it was sure up high. All right, there goes nothing. It worked. Well, that stopped it. We'll have to keep an eye on it and make sure that loaded it don't do that. I think we was just over pressuring that valve. Too much pressure in the airbags. And so let's see how quick it raises here. I'm going to take it off. Hopefully that was our problem. We'll check it out a few more times to make sure though, but hopefully that'll take care of it. Alright. Okay folks, I think that was the problem because I've done it a couple more times and haven't had any trouble with it. We may have to try it with it loaded, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. Okay folks, I was sure hoping to get more done today, but that's it. I'm going to start. I've got a lot of wiring and stuff to get tied up and soldered and heat shrinked on. I'm hoping this is going to work out okay. We'll see. I mean, worst comes to worst, I have to put 2 switches on it, but right now it's working good. I think them bags just definitely had too much pressure in them, and you know, if it gives any trouble, then you know it's not a problem to add another switch. You know, I don't really want 2 switches to do one operation, but you know, sometimes you got to live with stuff. Had a lot of tows today, so you know, just the way it goes sometimes. But anyway, I'm hoping I'll maybe have time to get back on this tomorrow, and I'll probably work on the motorcycle engine a little bit tonight, and I don't know if I'll have any video out or not. But and in between tows, I also today got the Land Rover running good. It had just a spark plug valve, and picked this one up the other day. Head-on collision. Both people okay. This is a Mitsubishi Lancer, I think, and the other one is the other one was a Chevrolet Impala. And this guy here had some internal injuries, and I think his arm came through the door, but the people in the Impala was fine. So usually the bigger car wins. Don't let no one tell you it don't. Or the truck wins, or whatever's bigger and heavier usually wins. And I've learned that from experience over the years. Not always, but usually, especially in head-ons. Well, found out the battery's not staying up. But anyway, I did get the mess out of it and pulled the plug out. It was oil fouled. I learned a real good lesson on this one. This thing sat on its roof, you know, I don't know how long. You know, I got the call, it was late at night, went out, picked it up, and then of course it sat at my storage lot for probably a week, and then it went to the guy's house after he paid, and it sat at his place for probably 6 months, 5 or 6 months. And you know, I shouldn't have tried to start without pulling the plugs. I would have never imagined that everything wouldn't have leaked down, and it didn't. and I'm really lucky I didn't hurt that thing, because when I did start it, it just about tried to compression lock. So I got real lucky it didn't hurt anything, and I guess there was so much oil in there it oil fouled that plug out, and but that was no problem. But it's running really good. I actually, drove around the driveway here a little bit today, and I think it's going to be just fine. Not sure what I'm going to do. I'd still love to put that Willys body on it, but right now I don't have time for anything like that. So got too many other projects, too much stuff to get done. And anyway, appreciate everybody watching. And I noticed something else on this thing. It's always something, You see my oil spot. JC calls this an Isuzu motor, or a Isuzu Max or something, but that oil spot is nothing but the drain plug. It's not leaking anywhere else, just the drain plug. So I've got to get that figured out. I didn't try to tighten it, but I think I'll just change the oil in it and maybe check the seal on this Isuzu Max. But anyway, all right, appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye.